If you were born in the 90s, you probably remember this. Sitting in a classroom, fluorescent lights buzzing, a teacher explaining something slowly for 45 straight minutes. No skipping, no speeding up, no second screen. Now, fast forward, you're 19. Your lecture is on Zoom. You're watching at 1.5 times speed. Your phone is next to your laptop. You open TikTok just for a second. You reply to a message and check email. And somehow, you're still in class. Two generations, two completely different attention training environments. And now, both are struggling, but not for the same reason. Let me show you something uncomfortable. When was the last time you ate a meal without a screen? No Netflix, no YouTube, and no scrolling. Just food. For a growing number of people, especially Gen Z, eating without background stimulation feels incomplete. Not boring, but incomplete. That's conditioning. But don't relax if you're a millennial. You might sit through dinner, but you're checking Slack during it. Different symptom, same nervous system overload. Millennials grew up in a linear environment. TV had schedules. You couldn't skip ads. You waited a week for the next episode. School forced 45 minutes of continuous listening. Reward was delayed. Focus was endurance-based. Your brain adapted to longer dopamine cycles. Patience wasn't optional. It was built in. Gen Z grew up inside algorithmic acceleration. YouTube explained everything in 10 minutes. TikTok did it in 30 seconds. Netflix autoplayed. Spotify removed silence. Social media removed waiting. Reward cycles shortened. Attention adapted to velocity. Not endurance, but scanning. Not waiting, but switching. And that's where the misunderstanding begins. People say, Gen Z has no attention span. That's inaccurate. Gen Z has high-speed pattern recognition, but lower tolerance for low-stimulation tasks. That's not weakness, it's specialization. Now, here's the twist. Millennials are not fine either. They were trained for sustained focus, but now they live inside notification ecosystems. Just as they start focusing, Slack lights up, an email slides in, a group chat pulls them sideways. And by the time they return to the task, their brain has already switched contexts 3 times. Gen Z feels restless without stimulation. Millennials feel fragmented with it. Opposite training, same fatigue. Let's talk about something almost everyone recognizes, the bed scroll ritual. I'll just check for 5 minutes. 5 becomes 30. 30 becomes midnight. Midnight becomes 2 a.m. This isn't lack of discipline. It's variable reward reinforcement. Every scroll could be better than the last. Your brain doesn't want to stop before the good one. Now, here's the generational difference. Millennials adopted this loop in adulthood. Gen Z was neurologically shaped inside it. For Gen Z, scrolling isn't an activity, it's a default state. For millennials, it's a coping mechanism. Different origin, but same insomnia. Let's go deeper. Attention isn't only shaped by speed, it's shaped by control. Millennials consumed what was scheduled. Gen Z consumes what is curated. Algorithms don't just accelerate content, they personalize stimulation, which means Gen Z doesn't just scroll faster. They scroll inside a system engineered around their preferences. That changes baseline expectations. When your feed feels custom-built, real life feels under-optimized. Slower, messier, less precise, and the brain interprets that as friction. Meanwhile, millennials face overload of volume. Gen Z faces overload of personalization. But in both cases, attention gets fragmented before it can stabilize. Here's another uncomfortable test. Sit in a quiet room for 5 minutes. No phone, no music, no podcast. Just sit. For many Gen Z viewers, this triggers agitation, restlessness, impulse checking, micro-anxiety, boredom intolerance. Now, here's the millennial version. They can sit, but they feel guilty because rest feels unproductive. One generation panics when nothing is happening. The other feels guilty when nothing is being produced. One escapes boredom. The other escapes idleness. But both are running from the same thing, an uncomfortable nervous system that no longer knows how to settle. Here's the core problem. Neither generation evolved for infinite optionality. They live with endless tabs open, endless feeds scrolling, and endless comparisons running in the background. Millennials were trained for a world of limited inputs. Gen Z was trained for a world of unlimited inputs. When things are limited, we learn patience. When everything is available all the time, we become reactive. And constant availability makes deep focus harder to sustain. So who has it worse? Wrong question. Millennials struggle because their training no longer matches the speed of the world. Gen Z struggles because their training optimized for speed, not depth. Both are mismatched. Both feel distracted. Both blame themselves. And that's the mistake. This isn't a character flaw, it's environmental adaptation. Attention is plastic. It adapts to stimulus patterns, which means it can be retrained. But not by quitting technology, by reintroducing friction. Moments without autoplay, moments without background noise, moments without speed controls. Not as punishment, as recalibration. Here's the unifying pain no one says out loud. Deep focus feels rare. True rest feels rare. Presence feels rare. And everyone feels slightly cognitively tired all the time. Different childhoods, different training systems, same exhaustion. So here's what we want you to do. If you're Gen Z, send this to a millennial and ask, is this what it feels like? If you're a millennial, send this to Gen Z and ask, does this describe you? Thank you for watching. If you want more psychology breakdowns like this, subscribe. We publish research-driven videos every week. And remember, you don't have to trust us. All sources are below.